For more, let's cross to our EU correspondent, Dave Keating, in Brussels. Dave, how did it go?
Well, it didn't go very well, to put it mildly. This meeting was supposed to resolve tensions over the implementation of that protocol, the deadline for which is essentially the end of this month. While the UK left the EU single market last year, they had a grace period, and that is ending at the end of this month. And basically what's happening is the UK government is saying they will not implement what they signed up to in that Northern Ireland protocol, specifically having customs checks between Northern Ireland and the rest of the UK. They're saying that's because they're seeing violence flare up, unionists targeting the customs checkpoints that are set up or being set up in the Irish Sea. Well, after that meeting, we heard a very angry European Commission Vice President Maroš Šefčovič. You can listen to what he said here.
We don't have that clip yet, Dave, but I can read from it because it's pretty blunt stuff. He's talking about retaliation, assessing all the options at their disposal. Contrast that, if you will, with the UK's negotiator. Let's listen to him, much more soft around the edges.
To find a negotiated agreement if we can, and that's what we are really intending to do. If we can't, and we're working very hard to do it, then obviously we consider all our options for next steps.
And what are they?
We consider there's a range of things that we may consider, and we continue to consider them.
So how do you explain this dissonance between, on the one hand, the EU's man saying it didn't go well at all, and the UK's man saying, well, we can work something out?
Yeah, I mean, there was a huge difference there, right? The key quote, I think, from Vice President Šefčovič was, he said the EU's patience is running very, very thin, and that is for sure. When you talk to people in Brussels, they are very angry about Boris Johnson's government not honoring what was signed up for in that protocol. Now, in the immediate term, this has flared up in a dispute over sausages, essentially. The EU does not allow imports into its customs area of chilled meats, that is non-frozen meats. And so because Northern Ireland, under Boris Johnson's deal, was effectively made part of the EU's customs area, that means that Great Britain, the rest of the UK, cannot export chilled meats to Northern Ireland. But the UK government is saying, we're just not going to do that. That's the frustration here. Now, just as a reminder, this is the arrangement that Boris Johnson designed in order to get over the Ireland impasse of Brexit. There were 3 years trying to find a solution to this. How do you have the UK leave the EU and the customs area while not having a hard border with customs checks on the island of Ireland between Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland that could become a target of Irish Republican violence? The way Boris Johnson solved that was by putting that customs border in the Irish Sea, but we're seeing that now become a target of unionist violence. Of course, everyone saw that coming. We knew that was going to be the case. Everyone had warned about it, and it was the reason why Theresa May said no British Prime Minister could ever do such a thing, and then Johnson did it. So that's what has the EU so exasperated now, is Johnson's government seems to be feigning surprise that there is violence, when in fact this was the end conclusion of a process that said this solution would be the least bad option, but nobody thought it was a good option, and the EU feels that the UK isn't even trying to implement the solution that Boris Johnson suggested in order to get his Brexit deal in 2019.
One EU diplomat quoted by the Financial Times says that this stark difference in tone is all about Joe Biden's visit, and that once Biden's gone, David Frost will be playing hardball once again.
For sure. I mean, Maroš Šefčovič saying that the EU is losing patience. Washington is losing patience as well. It has been widely reported in the UK that Joe Biden is going to pull Boris Johnson aside during this G7 summit and warn him that he needs to stick to what he committed into the Irish Protocol. Otherwise, it jeopardizes peace in Northern Ireland, something that the US worked very hard for alongside the UK and the EU, and a subject that President Biden feels very strongly about given his Irish roots. And so certainly I think the UK government wants to be seen to be trying to find solutions here ahead of Biden's visit so they can minimize that telling off that they're expecting from Joe Biden. But on the EU side, we're told that the EU did suggest compromises here today. They suggested that the UK, at least for the meantime, could comport with EU food and animal standards, and then they could send chilled meat over to Northern Ireland. But the UK refused, Šefčovič calling that ideology triumphing over the needs of people in Northern Ireland.